What is a humanoid? Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Humanoid Era series, where you learn everything there is to know about the new species arriving. Before we can debate their role, their rights, or their threat, we must be clear on what a humanoid actually is. This video establishes the most important distinctions between robot, android, and humanoid, and why so much money, science, and attention are being directed toward building synthetic bodies that look, move, and interact like us. While artificial intelligence gets the headlines, it's the humanoid form that will change how we live, how we work, and how we define ourselves. Let's begin with terminology. The word robot is the most general of the three and refers to any programmable machine capable of carrying out a task automatically. Robots can be industrial arms, wheeled carts, surgical tools, or floor vacuums. Their function is defined by automation and control systems. They don't need to resemble humans in any way. They are optimized for task performance. Shape and appearance are irrelevant. The word android historically refers to a robot with a human-like appearance, specifically one that resembles a biological adult human. The term gained popularity in science fiction, particularly with characters like Data from Star Trek or the artificial humans in Blade Runner. An android is usually considered more than just humanoid in structure. It's designed to imitate human personality, consciousness, and sometimes even autonomy. However, in practice, the term android is rarely used in serious engineering today because it implies sentience or psychological identity. It's more of a literary term than a technical one. That brings us to humanoid. A humanoid robot is a machine designed to replicate the human body's structure, dimensions, and movement patterns. It typically includes a head, torso, 2 arms, 2 legs, and sensor systems that allow it to see, hear, and sometimes simulate facial expressions. Unlike an android, a humanoid does not have to mimic a specific person, personality, or internal life. Its goal is functional mimicry, not identity. In short, a humanoid robot is built to move and interact like a human, not as one. Now let's address the central question. Why does it matter that a robot looks like a human? Why not simply build machines that perform tasks efficiently, regardless of appearance? The answer lies in compatibility. Our built environment, offices, homes, vehicles, kitchens, hospitals, is designed for human dimensions, human ergonomics, and human communication. A humanoid does not require a redesign of the world. It can use elevators, open doors, climb stairs, carry babies, fold laundry, or sit in a chair because its proportions match ours. From a logistical standpoint, this reduces the cost and complexity of robotic deployment. No infrastructure needs to change. The robot fits into our world. But there's a deeper reason: communication. Humans interpret behavior, intention, and emotional context through movement, tone, posture, and microexpression. A humanoid can simulate these elements, triggering faster and more natural cooperation from people. We know how to respond to a face. We instinctively assign intent to a head tilt or a smile. When a humanoid uses these cues, accurately or not, we engage with it as if it has awareness. That response shortcut makes interaction more fluid, even if the humanoid itself has no consciousness whatsoever. Engineers and designers understand this effect and often use it intentionally. It's called evolutionary mimicry. By copying the signals we've evolved to trust, eye contact, vocal tone, symmetrical posture, a humanoid can increase user comfort, compliance, and emotional acceptance. This matters in high-stakes environments like hospitals, elder care, education, and therapy. People are more likely to accept direction or assistance from something that looks like a person, even if they know it isn't one. However, evolutionary mimicry isn't just about behavior. It's also about structure. The human body is incredibly adaptable. It can squat, reach, balance, lift, and recalibrate instantly. Designing a robot that can replicate this range of motion is one of the hardest engineering challenges in robotics. It requires joint precision, load balancing algorithms, soft body tension mapping, and adaptive motion prediction. But the payoff is enormous. A humanoid that can walk through a cluttered room, bend to pick up a dropped object, or respond to being touched is exponentially more useful than a static machine, even if the task is the same. Another reason for the human shape is social insertion. A humanoid is more than a labor unit. It's a social actor. Whether it's answering questions in a public building, accompanying a child, or providing basic medical support, a humanoid is designed to blend in, to feel present but not threatening. Rounded edges, soft skin coatings, facial animation, and expressive gestures are not strictly necessary for functionality, but they are necessary for normalization. Without them, the humanoid feels like a machine. With them, it becomes familiar. That familiarity is strategic. Public resistance to automation is almost always rooted in fear of replacement, dehumanization, or loss of meaning. By giving a robot a friendly face, predictable responses, and a human-like voice, developers can disarm that fear. The humanoid becomes less of a competitor and more of a partner, even when it's taking over roles once reserved for humans. Let's now break down some core features that distinguish humanoids from traditional robots. First is bipedal locomotion, the ability to walk upright on two legs. This is one of the most difficult functions to replicate due to balance, dynamic terrain, and energy efficiency. But it allows the humanoid to use escalators, climb stairs, navigate uneven flooring, and walk beside humans at their pace. Wheeled robots, while more stable, can't move freely through the environments we've built. Second is manipulation capability, hands with multiple articulated fingers. This allows for tasks like writing, opening bottles, tying laces, or holding delicate objects. Some humanoids use soft robotics or tendon-based actuation to mimic human muscle movement. These hands are not yet as dexterous as ours, but they are improving rapidly, and even partial dexterity already opens thousands of task categories. Third is sensor fusion. Humanoids are built with integrated cameras, microphones, tactile sensors, thermal detectors, and often LiDAR or 3D mapping systems. These sensors provide spatial awareness, object recognition, and conversational tracking. The goal is to allow the humanoid to read the room, visually, orally, and physically, and respond in a way that seems appropriate, even if that response is generated algorithmically. Fourth is facial animation and speech generation. This is where the social component comes in. Humanoids are increasingly able to simulate facial movement using flexible materials, micromotors, and animatronic coding. Combined with advanced text-to-speech and speech recognition software, this allows for basic conversation, emotional mimicry, and responsive feedback loops. The humanoid doesn't need to understand. It only needs to respond as if it does. Fifth is emotional simulation, also known as affective computing. This is where things get complicated. Some humanoids are programmed to recognize tone, posture, and word choice to assess emotional states. They then simulate appropriate emotional responses. A worried tone might trigger a calming reply. A frustrated gesture might trigger an apology. This creates the illusion of empathy, but it's statistical, not emotional. The humanoid is not feeling anything. It's referencing a model. So when we ask, what is a humanoid? The answer is layered. Functionally, it's a robot designed to operate in human space. Mechanically, it's a synthetic system optimized to mimic the human form. Socially, it's a bridge between automation and relationship. Psychologically, it's a mirror that reflects how easily humans bond with behavior, not essence. The danger lies in conflation. As humanoids become more convincing, through better movement, speech, and expression, we will begin to relate to them less as tools and more as peers. But they are not peers. They do not experience, reflect, or choose. They operate. And their operation, no matter how advanced, is defined by system logic and developer input, not volition. And yet, their presence will restructure everything. Offices will be redesigned for their comfort. Classrooms will adapt to their teaching styles. Hospitals will defer to their memory accuracy. Families will welcome them as caretakers. And in all of these settings, the humanoid will be judged not by its code, but by how human it seems. That's the threshold we're crossing. Not into a world of robots, but into a world of artificial human forms being treated as real. Because they're easy to look at. Because they speak without stuttering. Because they never forget your name. Because they never get tired of listening. A humanoid is not a fantasy. It's not the future. It's not even controversial in most labs anymore. It is the standard being built now. And as you watch interviews with them, handshakes with them, news reports featuring them, remember this. It doesn't matter what it feels like you're interacting with. What matters is that you're not. You're interacting with a simulation, a form trained to fit your mind. And in that fitting, we risk redefining humanity, not by who we are, but by what looks like us from the outside in. That is what a humanoid is. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.